चैलेंजेस तो बहुत देखे हैं, पर शायद मेरा सबसे टफ चैलेंज कोविड। मेरे साथ मेरी टीम खड़ी थी, फैमिली, दोस्त, फैंस। एक सिंपल सी चीज, उनका फोन कॉल। मैं आइसोलेटेड जरूर था, पर अकेला नहीं। आपके आसपास जो लोग स्ट्रेस, अकेलेपन और डिप्रेशन से गुजर रहे हैं, उन्हें कॉल कीजिए। बस एक फोन कॉल। और अगर उनको या फिर आपको जरूरत है एक फ्री डॉक्टर कंसल्टेशन या काउंसलिंग की, तो फिर इस नंबर पर कॉल कीजिए। आप अकेले नहीं, हम एक साथ हैं।
मुंबई में बैठ के कोलकाता से गुड़ का रसगुल्ला, आहा, यही तो जीवन।
जस्ट माई रूट्स, लालच को पंख लगाओ, किसी भी शहर से खाना मंगाओ।
Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Backstage with Boria. And in fact, this is the truth. This is the first ever show from this studio. And who better? Who better than somebody who I have seen evolve? I've actually seen him evolve from being a youngster to a super talented man to now India's captain and perhaps one of the best, if not the best. So it's only a deep personal pleasure to welcome who I consider a very dear friend of mine. Rohit Sharma, firstly, many congratulations on every sphere. But thank you very much for taking time out and doing this for me. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Dada. Pleasure.
Rohit, captain of India, T20 World Cup coming up next year. I'll deep dive. I remember that show that you and I had done in Bangalore before the COVID pandemic hit the world. And you said, juggling a ball, that unless we win a World Cup, even my 500s, it doesn't matter to me. You have to win a World Cup. Now you're the captain. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, of course. I think when you play the sport, when you play the game, you want to achieve the best. And I feel the best is to win the championship. You will score many runs, many hundreds, but winning that championship always stays with you. Because you know why? Because that's a collective effort from the team. Because at the end of the day, we play a team sport. It's not an individual sport. So what you achieve as a team is very, very important to me. And it is something that I want to achieve, that a team goal, which is to win the championships. Mine, obviously, we've got few World Cups coming up. We'll keep an eye on that. But there is a lot of things that we need to do as a team to get that championship. And we have the team, we have the players, we have support staff now to go and get it. It's just about what we do prior to the World Cup is very, very important. And I think when you hunt for that championship, there's so much pressure in terms of players' performance, in terms of people's expectation, and in terms of everyone coming together and collectively putting that effort. So there's a lot of pressure there. But one thing that I would love to do is just take that pressure away from the boys at least. And how we can do that is by little things right, like making sure that we give them that security, that freedom to go and express, and all those things. That is the way to start, and then we will see how things plan out in the next 2 or 3 months. We've got nearly about 20-25 T20s, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, it's a handful number of T20s that we will be playing before the World Cup. So we'll have a fair idea about what we need to do as a team, to get everything right.
So Rohit, tell me something. I mean, 5 titles with Mumbai, one with Deccan as well. When you weren't captain, but 5 titles with Mumbai, Asia Cup for India. You have established captaincy pedigree. Saurabh, when I was shooting for this particular show, and I asked him this question about you. I asked him about Rohit Sharma, the captain, and he said, look at his record. Look at that man's record and you will know how much he deserves this position. How do you look at yourself as captain of India? Do you set goals? Do you have a particular philosophy that works in franchise cricket? What is your captaincy philosophy? You just alluded to it, that I will not let pressure come on to the boys. And you've told me in the past that I am the least important member of the team as captain. But what is your captaincy philosophy? You explain a little bit more.
That's what I feel. The captain needs to stand at the back. He cannot be the forefront. I understand in terms of performance, he needs to be forefront. But while doing everything else, he needs to be taking the back seat, making sure that, the rest of the players are, getting their job done in whatever way they can. And just make sure that the reason I say that the captain has to be taking the back seat is because, he can make sure that he puts his hand around everyone from behind. That is what I meant when I said that you have to be taking the back seat. Captain looks good when the team looks good, when the team performs well. Captain looks bad, horrible, whatever you want to say, when the team doesn't do well. So I think it's not captain. Yes, I mean, in how I look at it is, the kind of players you have, the stuff that the captain is allowing the players to do. I think that is very, very important. And captain can take a lot of credit when everything goes well. And at the same time, when things don't go well, captain is blamed for everything. I don't think that is the right way to think or look forward to that. I think it's important that the world understands what the role of a captain is. Captain is there to make sure that the right players are playing, the right combination is put out there, and obviously there are a few tactical things that he needs to look after. What I've done at Mumbai is, it's brilliant because of the players that I have. Honestly speaking, I have a very little role to play there. The team that I had was fantastic. So I want to give the credit to, firstly the management for creating such a solid gun players, and then creating that atmosphere for the players to just go and perform. That is how I will look at it. Of course, there were certain decisions that I had to make. Giving the last over, giving the first over to XYZ, making sure the batting orders and all that is changed as in when the situation is required. All those things, yes, captain plays a big part in that. But overall, I feel it's the players' team, not the captain's team.
Let me get to that only. The players' team. There is also captain on the field and captain off the field. And quite a lot of your teammates in the Indian team are good friends with me. Every time I've spoken to them and when you have come out, everyone says to me that you are that captain off the field as well, who puts an arm around someone's shoulder, takes him out for a meal, makes him relax. Even if somebody's had a bad day, you will be the one who will take that person out, be with that person in his bad time. That has been an attribute of yours, which many have told me. Is that conscious? That you take the juniors under your wings and make them relax?
No, because that's what I believe in. I believe in my role is more outside than inside. Because your prep, making sure that, you give the role to the players and what they are expected to go out there and execute. It all happens off the field, not inside the field. Once you are in, you have 3 hours to execute your plans. And there's very little you can change within that 3 hours because there are 11 guys playing. So you have to look after all 11. And in those 3 hours, how much can you change? So for me, I don't think my role, that's how I look at it. It's not on the field too much. It's off the field more. Preparation, comfort, freedom, planning, strategies, and all those kind of things that happens off the field. So my role as a captain is 20% on the field, 80% off the field. That's how I look at it.
Very interesting. Good start against New Zealand. Partnership with Rahul Dravid. Thoughts on Rahul Dravid as head coach?
Yeah, look, Rahul Bhai, a brilliant cricketer. We all know that, without a doubt. There's no single doubt about that. The way he has played his cricket, we all know how he has played his cricket. He himself has come out and said on so many occasions that he was not so talented. He has to work so hard to get where he is today, right? So I think that is going to reflect on this team as well. Making sure that we work hard as a team. Nothing is given on the platter just like that to anyone. He will make you work hard. Obviously, when you do that, when you enjoy that process, you feel good about it because there is a process that has been put in place. And there's a structure as well. So people will enjoy that. Guys who are coming in, going out and all of that, they'll have so much clarity about why they were out of the team, why they came into the team and all that. That is something that, he will be able to create. And ever since we had our first meeting, he mentioned straight away that, I'm here to help you all. I'm not a cricketer anymore. So I know the difference between a cricketer and a coach. So my job will be very easy to support the players. And then obviously got to make sure that, players need whatever they need, they have it. And then if I'm not wrong, he's gone personally to each one of us and spoken about, what they feel about themselves, what sort of role they look in this team, and what they have to offer, which position will be their best position to bat, or etc. etc. Same with the bowlers as well. He's gone personally and spoken to each one of us just to understand, because obviously, he's been working with India A's and under 19s, and obviously he was NCA head. So he knows each player in and out. It's not like he doesn't know anyone. So he has that bond with everyone. It's just about now taking it forward and taking it to the next level.
We had informally spoken before the World Cup, and you had mentioned again about your obsession to win. Be it the 2017, 2019, 2021, you have been a senior player, vice captain. Obviously, some of your best tournaments have been, in the recent past in ICC competitions. Yet we've fallen short. You must have. What is the? Have you been able to pinpoint? This is one reason. Is it 45 minutes of bad cricket? That 2019. Have you been able to figure out?
Not to be honest, not really. I mean, like we lost Champions Trophy, the 2019 World Cup, and even this World Cup as well. Like I would say, it was that initial phase of the game where we lost the game. So that is something that I'll keep in mind, and I'll see that we prepare for the worst. We have to prepare when the team is 10 for 3, and that is how I want to move forward and get the message across to the boys that guys who are batting at 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, there's nowhere written that if you are 10 for 2 or 3, you can't get 180 or you can't get 190 or maybe more. I'm just giving you an example. So I want to prepare. I want the guys to prepare in that fashion where let's say we are playing the semi-final and we are 10 for 2 in the first 2 overs. What do we do? What is the plan? So I want to put ourselves in that situation again and see if we can, respond to that. So we have got some games before the World Cup to try and test out that. Because if you look, there is similarity between all 3 games that we lost. The Pakistan game, 2 Pakistan game in fact, and then 1 New Zealand game in the 3 ICC tournaments. But that can happen. I mean, I do understand that, the quality of the bowling was exceptional at that point. But it has happened 3 times. I hope that it doesn't happen for the 4th time. So we just hopefully prepare for that, keeping that situation in mind and move forward and see how we can plan, whether we can just counter attack straight from ball one, whoever batter goes in. And I don't want then people to think that, oh, they're 10 for 2, what shot is he playing? The commentators, the people of India or anywhere else, they need to understand that this is a plan. This is a plan of the team. I know it's very easy to pinpoint at certain aspects of the game and certain players of the squad, but the planning that goes inside, they don't know about it. So what's the point of just talking and getting the wrong message to the people who love cricket, who are watching, the fans? I think that is very, very important. I want the players, the batters and the bowlers to just go out and do what they want. And by no means, they're doing their own stuff. It's a plan.
So you are basically saying that's the philosophy they are implementing the philosophy, and whether they get it right or wrong, they are entitled to doing that because that's what the team wants.
Exactly, because there needs to be a change. Something has to change. So while making sure that we are encountering that change, a lot can go wrong.
Okay, so much for Captain Rohit Sharma. I'll ask you two more, but at the last couple of minutes. Now to red ball cricketer Rohit Sharma. Rohit, you and I were counting down days in Australia when you were in quarantine. And trust me, I've always respected you as an athlete, but that few days, and I asked you, you won the IPL, you had everything going. You could have stayed in India, trained at NCA and played against England. Why did you take this chance of going to Australia? Hard quarantine, daughter's birthday, family time, winter, Christmas time. And you said, you know what? I'm willing to fail for India. I want to play test cricket. No problem. I want to fail. This is my dream. I'm living it. I want to play test cricket. I'm not scared of failure. And then you went out there and made a difference to that side. Talk to me about red ball cricketer Rohit Sharma. Because clearly something has changed in India's red ball cricket at the top. And look at the England series. It's been you.
No, I mean, obviously, I love the game. I as a cricketer, you always challenge yourself during adversity, and I think that was for me very challenging to go there and do this hard quarantine and then get back onto the field within 3 or 4 days time. I had no proper training session in terms of skills. I was training whatever time that I had in NCA, and then while quarantine in my room. That was my routine. But I just didn't want to miss the opportunity, and I felt that we have a great chance of winning Australia at that stage. And I just wanted to make sure that how we can strengthen our team by having the right players, having your best players playing. So I just wanted to be there and see if I can play any role, any part in the success of that team.
What did you do, Rohit? What did you do? Like in England, you looked so assured, and even then you were saying, "No, I'm not batting at my best." I remember that question I'd asked you. And what did you do to all of a sudden, the way you batted in England was incredible. What have you done to your red ball game?
I think a lot of credit has to go to the preparation that we had. We had 15-20 days nearly to prepare after the World Test Championship for this series. And after traveling to England so many times, we do understand what to expect from their team, from the conditions, and just a general atmosphere in the ground, what to expect. We know everything about it. And I know what's going to come at me when I'm facing the first ball of the test match. I know what's going to come at me. So just training in that fashion, training my mind firstly that this is James Anderson is the guy going to hold the new ball and he's going to just try and swing the ball away from me, an odd ball which will come into my pads. So how do I prepare for that? Luckily, we've got a guy, a throwdown guy, who is pretty similar, does chuck the ball from the slingers that we have now these days. His name is Daya. He played a big part, to be honest, in getting my preparation right. Along with, obviously, Vikram, Raghu and those guys as well. All the throwdown guys, they're just simply brilliant. They're so accurate in executing what's going to come from the team. Raghu is someone who bowls back of the length, tries to nip the ball around. Daya is someone who just swings the ball up front. Vikram steady, keeps it there, and then we've got a left armer as well, one from Sri Lanka. So all these guys are specifically trained and they exactly know what to do. So these guys are the ones actually I want to give a lot of credit to for whatever I did in England. It was brilliant, like the way they prepared. I can only talk about me. I'm sure the other guys like KL, he got a brilliant 100 in Lords. I'm sure he'll say the same thing. But for me personally, that was a game changer. And the 15-20 days that I got to prepare in that fashion, keep defending, leave the ball. I changed certain aspect of my stance as well about how I want to, get ready before the ball is delivered and all that. Keeping the hands close to the body. And while doing that, my wrist was hurting so much because I was never used to doing something like that. And to suddenly change and do something, obviously, your muscles are not used to that. It's going to hurt, but I was prepared for it. This was nothing compared to, if I know that I'm going to get some sort of success or confidence doing that, I don't mind a little bit of pain here and there. So that actually was the key. I think when you go to places like Australia, South Africa, England, New Zealand, and all these places, you have to prep, you have to prepare, and you need proper time for that. That is the key, I think.
South Africa, you won't have much time there in that country if the tour does happen, Omicron notwithstanding. So how do you prepare for such a situation? It is how the world is at this point in time. You've got to be ready.
Yeah, you got to be ready, but that's where, I'm going to try and plan to, we're not going to get pitches like South Africa here in India, but we're going to try and do something similar to what we're going to expect in South Africa. The bounce and all that is not going to be same, but at least some sort of, we need to come close to what we're going to expect there. But yeah, like you clearly said, what is in your hand is in your hand. What is controllable, you control those. Others, you can't. So
okay. So you are one of the few multi-format cricketers. You play Test match cricket, T20 cricket, 50-over cricket. How much is it mental? Because clearly, when we were seeing Rohit Sharma ODIs, Rohit Sharma T20s, you will go for your shots. You will get that, 40 of 20 and give them that rocking start. But all of a sudden, Test match cricket, leave. How much was it mental and how much preparation did that take?
No, it's mental, more mental. How you train your mind, basically. It's important if you want to be successful in all three formats. You just have to train your mind that strongly and kept telling your mind that this is what my Test match routine looks like, and I have to just follow and get into it as quickly as possible. And this is what my T20 routine looks like. And there's not much time, so you just need to get into it quickly and adapt and try and be competitive. So obviously I've done it for so many years, playing one format after the other so many times. So it's not easy. Let me tell you, when I came from England to IPL, I was still leaving the balls in IPL practice that I was doing. Mahela was standing behind the net saying, "Oh, Rohit, it's looking pretty good, but this is IPL T20. I need to see some shots." So that's how it was. You can imagine. But yeah, it's a very good process. It's a good transition from Test cricket to T20, T20 to Test. It's a good, enjoyable process. You have to enjoy it because there's certain changes that you need to do when you want to hit the ball. There's certain changes in your back lift and all of that. When you want to defend close to the body, keep your hands closer. You have to try and keep practicing that. It's a good process. I enjoy that.
Last few minutes, I've got to ask 3-4 more questions and I'll let you go. I know the time you have in hand, and I'll respect that time for sure. One interesting one, Rohit. You just mentioned the transition. So is the next 2 years, am I right in saying next 2 years, red ball cricket, Rohit Sharma's time? Are you that hungry? Red ball cricket, Rohit Sharma? Am I right?
I hope so. That? I am as hungry as I was before. That hunger is never going to stop. I just want to excel in whatever I do. But there is a process that is required for that success. I know now the formula. You know what you need to do. If I keep ticking the boxes, the results might differ. Obviously, it's a game that we are playing. You are challenged every minute by the opposition, so you know it's not going to always be successful. But I'm prepared to take my failure into my stride and move forward. That's not a big deal. But I want to give myself a chance to be successful, and I know the process that I have put in place, and I'm going to follow that. And yeah, till the time I'm playing for India, this hunger is never going anywhere. Whichever format be it, I want to give importance to all three formats. It's just not red ball, white ball. I want to win. The most important thing is India. Whenever you represent India, that hunger needs to be there.
Rohit, this is Backstage with Boria. So, I mean, somebody at the ground behind you, looking after your child, when you bat the way one sort of sees her committed, and talk about Ritika. Yeah? I mean, give me a sense. I mean, the family and Ritika. It's very important for people to know. Give her. Let's celebrate her for a couple of minutes.
She is my support system. Yeah, number one support system. No doubt about that. She has stood like a rock for me all these years, behind me, next to me, in front of me, whatever you may want to call. Without her, all this that I'm doing was never going to be possible, because you have certain responsibility, and I have a young daughter now. She's completely focused, in making sure that she gets the best of everything, and she's playing a big part in making sure that I don't have I don't need to worry about what is happening with her. You know what I mean? It's because she's doing this so well, I can focus at times in what I'm doing. And obviously when I come back home, it's just about family, getting together, making the most of it. So yes, she's played a big part, and she will continue to do that. I know for the fact that how much keen she is to see me grow as a cricketer even further. So her help in whatever she is doing is very well appreciated, and we are one team, obviously. So if I fail, she fails. If I succeed, she succeeds. She succeeds as well. So that's how we look at it. And I just feel that we've got a lot to look forward in future, and I'm 100% sure that she's going to
more strength to the two of you. I've seen you guys from donkey's years now, several years, 15, 16, 17 years, coming together, marriage, obviously daughter. Remember that day when you came to Australia, you showed the photograph when you had to leave your daughter. So great moments, and I just hope this strength keeps growing and growing and growing. Last couple, you mentioned juniors, also seniors, Rohit. I mean, Ravichandran Ashwin and I were having a conversation, and he said the amount of confidence you've given someone like Ash. He said, Dada, make no mistake, it makes a big difference when you know that someone in the team like Rohit backs you like this. It helps a major deal. Talk about such players. Ravi Ashwin back in the white ball mix. All of a sudden, I mean, people had written him off, and here he is, one of your champions. Talk about that.
Look, he's a champion bowler, and I have seen his quality for last entire decade, to be honest. And I've seen what sort of person he is, more importantly, and how much hunger he himself has in him, not just to play Test cricket, but also other formats. And you see his IPL record as well, last 2-3 years, his economy probably will be 6-7, if I'm not wrong. Bowls everywhere, power play, middle overs. to right-handers, left-handers. You call it, he has it, and he's done it. And I mean, it was long time that yes, of course, we missed out on few years after Champions Trophy and all that, but the quality has not gone anywhere. Quality is still there. It's just about how you use them and how he can be more productive as well with the quality that he has. So I thought, it'll be a great addition to have him because of his experience and what he does with the ball. More importantly, he'll give you that flexibility. You can use him in the power play, middle overs, like I just said. So when you have a bowler like that, it's an all-rounder bowler. That's what I would like to call, that he can bowl anytime, anywhere, and whatever situation. So to have someone like that in your team is always important. You don't want one-dimensional bowler where he can only bowl outside power play, cannot bowl in the death, can only bowl to right-handers, can only bowl to left-handers. The more options you have with the bowler, always better. That's what I felt. And looking at Ashwin for last couple of years now in IPL and all that, and I thought bowled brilliantly. So I thought he'll be a great addition. And if I'm not wrong, he's here to stay. He's definitely here to stay. The quality that he has shown, I think, has been brilliant.
Last one, Rohit. Virat has been obviously captain, one of the best batsmen in the world. You will need Virat, the batsman. You served as his deputy in the Indian team. The two of you have almost sort of dominated the Indian batsmanship for a while. It will be very important for you to also have sort of him, the batter, in your mix. Have you thought about that?
There's no doubt about that. The quality of his kind of batter is always needed in the squad. To have an average of 50 plus in T20 format, it's crazy. It's unreal. So you obviously, with the experience that he has, he's batted and bailed India out so many times from difficult situations. So the quality and his kind of batsmanship is required, obviously, and plus he's still a leader of the team. So obviously all those things put together, you don't want to miss out and you don't want to ignore that kind of stuff. So his presence, his importance of the squad, his presence and his importance to the team is very, very important moving forward. It can only strengthen our team.
I'll finish there, Rohit. All I'll say is, have you started visualizing? Because IPL trophies, Asia Cup, one thing. Rohit Sharma with the trophy in Australia.
I don't know. I'm not thinking too far ahead. It'll be nice to win, but like I said, that's not how I look at it. Of course, who doesn't want to stand at that podium lifting the cup? But there are a lot of things that we need to do right, and there will be a nice long process that will be put in place for us to achieve certain goals for the batters, certain roles that will be given to the players that they need to achieve. Because see, it's the only difference here is, like, when you play IPL, people are playing in a different role, and when they come here, they are doing a different role. So I just want guys to understand that IPL is damn good, but don't look too much into that performance. Where what you do here with the team India is more important, because look at the dynamics. In IPL you get 16-14 games and you know that you won't be dropped in that team. But here it's not the same situation. Here you bat in different positions. Here there are only 3 games that you get to play. Bilateral series, 3 games, 5 games max. Then there will be rotation policy that will be put in place, because we want to see everyone. So there is a lot of factors that we need to count, when you represent here. So India is a different ball game. IPL is competitive, no doubt about that. But more or less, you're settled, very much settled as a player in IPL franchises. But here, it's a different ball game, which is why, playing for the country and scoring runs for your country is pleasing.
And that's why when you said that you will give people confidence while playing for the country, give them the comfort, give them the safety, give them all of that, will make so much of a difference. Rohit, as I said,
I'll try my best. I'll try my best doing that. Honestly, it's not going to be easy. I know that, because there's so many changes, so many things to think about. If the guy who played 2 games and he's a senior most, like for example, if someone, Ashwin, let's say his example, he's played for so many years. The last game, I had to get Yuzvendra Chahal to play that last game in Kolkata. So I had to leave out Ashwin. I honestly didn't want to leave out Ashwin because he's just got back into the white ball cricket and all that. But again, that's for the team. That call that we did was for the team. And I think it's important that we keep making those calls. It's in the benefit of each player. And Ashwin was the first one to put his hand up and said, I'm okay to do that. Whatever you want for the team, I'll be happy to do it.
And that's what I've seen with you, Rohit. That's what I said. I've seen that with you for the last 15 odd years, from the time I've gotten to know you better. And I'm going to see that over the next 5 odd years, as long as you keep continuing to play cricket. So all of us from outside, we will keep strengthening you, because we are all one fraternity. We are all stakeholders of this important game that we all love. So know this, as captain, as batter, as senior player, as leader, you always will have our support. Me personally, very deeply appreciative of the fact that you did this, because as I said, it's a new play for me, launching my own platform. So I'm deeply appreciative of the fact that you're taking out time. Wish you all the very best, Rohit Sharma. May 2022 be your year, like many others. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
লেটেস্ট নিউজ আর এক্সক্লুসিভ ভিডিওর সঙ্গে আপডেট থাকতে এখনই সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন আমাদের ইউটিউব চ্যানেল। বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করতে ভুলবেন না যেন।